Just give me a reason to keep my heart beating. Don't worry, it's safe right here in my arms. As the world falls apart around us, all we can do is hold on, hold on.
Hello everyone, this is DT Ninja 86 here to bring you my Naruto Chapter 696 review, guys. I call this From the Shadows. Okay, guys, I'm sorry for the late release, but this chapter was incredible, guys. I mean, this was the fight we've been wanting to see. Everything from Sasuke, going, just really showing Naruto like some crazy power. But in all honesty, Sasuke is like is contradicting himself, and throughout this review, throughout this discussion, I am going to be sharing with you how this is the case. But anyway, let's get to my review, my poem. Alright, so I've written a poem. The first part, there's quite a bit of dialogue, but throughout, I hope you guys enjoy, so I call it From the Shadows. Alright, after all we've been through, you want this world to start brand new? You once said we could read each other with the exchange of fists. But back then, we were only kids. Even now, you want to kill me? Is this your true dream? Well, Naruto, you already know my answer then. Let's stop this pointless talking and start once again. My past, I'm leaving it all behind. I know that I'm right this time, like a flame that loses its light. All that's left for us to do is fight. So you think the villages will break apart, just like they were back from the start? But they trust each other now, so tell me how. They all shared a common enemy, so that's why they joined in the fighting. But now, I'll be the one who holds all the cards, and I'll make sure everyone plays their part. All the nations will be under my control, from the shadows. A true Hokage, that's my goal. Naruto, it seems you take me too lightly, so why don't you really fight me? Fine, Naruto, I guess it's now time. These rocks from the sky, this beast power, will be mine. Sasuke Susanoo takes in all the power, like a ghetto statue. It seems to devour. Now he's complete. So much power. How can we defeat? Be careful, Naruto. His power only grows stronger. I don't know if I can protect you for much longer. Ha! Naruto, using that same old jutsu, showing your weakness. What a fool. So come at me and take me down. Nothing can stop me. I'm immortal now. The two, they clash as Sasuke Susanoo breaks through Naruto's clone with a crash. Surrounded, he takes them all on. You think you can win? You're wrong. There's no way. Oh, sorry. Your chakra is fading. As I am now, there's no way you can face me. Sasuke attacks using his bow, and Kurama Sasuke attacks using his bow, pulling it back, and Kurama begins to react. It's about ready, so let's bring this attack. Sasuke, I've always wanted this fight, but not as you are now. It's not right. You're no longer you. And I know that I speak the truth. Alright, guys. Sasuke, I've always wanted this fight, but not as you are now. It's not right. You're no longer you. And you know that I speak the truth. Alright, guys, that was my interpretation, my poem for this week for Naruto's chapter 696. From the shadows. Let's get into the discussion. So first of all, Sasuke contradicting himself. He's they're talking to each other. He has that conversation at the beginning. He says he's going to control everything from the shadows. That's what a true Hokage does. And he says, I have to kill you in order to make this a reality. Now, the reason why he says this is because right now he's not alone. He wants to be alone in the shadows like Itachi was. Now, if you go all the way back from when Naruto's father saw him do the fire style jutsu, and what does he say? He says, walk your own path. Like you'll soar high. You'll soar high. He says, learn to walk in your own path, but not in the footsteps of your brother. And what is Sasuke doing? He's walking in his footsteps of his brother. So it's quite interesting that he's actually doing what his father told him not to do, right? It's because Itachi was so complicated. That is the reason why his father wished him not to follow Itachi, be different from him. Even though he may have, this kindness to him, he was a very complicated man, and he didn't want that for Sasuke. So now we have Sasuke, and he says, Naruto, I'm gonna take in all the beasts. He takes the beasts, and we have this dynamic of the Susanoo being like the ghetto statue. That was quite interesting. But what's really interesting is the part where he says, I'm immortal. He says, I'm immortal now. Now, do you guys remember when Madara, right before he fights Sasuke and Naruto, what does he say? Right before he fights Sasuke, he says, you can't defeat me. I'm immortal now. He says that, right? And what does Naruto say? You idiot. You idiot. I'm not gonna defeat you. We are. Right? You guys remember that? You cannot defeat me. And what's interesting about this is that Sasuke is actually basically doing the same thing as Madara, right? He's taking in the tailed beasts. He's become like a Jinchuriki. Even though he hasn't taken on the properties of it internally, he's got it inside the Susanoo, which is quite interesting, actually. I think that's quite smart, but at the same time, he's contradicting himself. You guys remember where Sasuke says, I will destroy the tailed beasts. I will burn them to the ground. I will burn them to the ground. And here he is. He is using, the tailed beast to his advantage. He's taking the power in just as Madara did. Okay, now this is contradictory to his own, words. He said he would burn them to the ground, and yet he is using them here against Naruto. Now, I thought it was interesting how he uses them in the Susanoo, which is awesome, by the way. And then he proceeds to tell Naruto, your weakness is being shown. Okay, he says your weakness is being shown. You know, your clone jutsu. You always use that technique. And what's interesting here is that Naruto's jutsu was his weakness. So he's telling the truth. That was his weakness. That was what he showed to be one of his strengths now. But he says it's one jutsu that makes you, show that you were alone. But really, what shows weakness is that Sasuke has chosen to take in the tailed beast instead of go inside Naruto's mind and disable that beast power. Now, if I were Sasuke, I would have disabled Naruto's beast power, first, and then fight him on equal terms instead of taking in the tail beast power, because Naruto was tail beast power. I thought he was going to destroy all the tail beast power, but maybe, I don't know, maybe power has corrupted him. And at the very end, guys, Naruto says, you're no longer you, okay? And it's true. And Sasuke is like shocked, Sasuke's shocked. He's like, he says, I've always wanted to fight you. And Naruto says, I always wanted to fight you, but not as you are now. Not as you are now. Okay, this reminded me of one very interesting fight, and you might know it or you might not. It is from Rurouni Kenshin. I thought that was really interesting. If you guys have seen Rurouni Kenshin, Aoshi Shinomori. This is a spoiler alert. So if you guys have not seen Rurouni Kenshin, I guess just don't watch this part. But anyway, Aoshi Shinomori is this this fighter from the revolution, from the Kenshin story, and they fight each other. Okay, and Aoshi threw his entire life away. He's become an agent of chaos. He's thrown his life away to become razor sharp, to forget about actually who he is, to just take down the Batosai, Kenshin Himura. Now, when he fights him, he is like razor sharp. He's very difficult to fight. This is Aoshi Shinomori, by the way. But Kenshin tells him, he says, you are no longer Aoshi. He says, you are no longer that man. I wanted to fight Aoshi Shinomori, but you are no longer him. So you will fight me as I am now, but I will not fight you to the fullest of my ability until I fight the real person, right? So throughout, Kenshin has this conversation with Aoshi. It's almost like talk no jutsu, but at the same time he's fighting at the same time. So it's kind of like Naruto, but in a way it's not. So yes, here it is. You've got to wake up before it's too late. Okay? He's yelling at him, and Aoshi is right here. Okay? And he finally gets to him. But why I brought that up is because what happens next is Aoshi actually returns to his normal self, okay? And they have that fight that they've always wanted, that final showdown. So that is an amazing comparison. I mean, Kishimoto is using something from Watsuki. That was just awesome to me. And yeah, so the ending of the chapter was incredible. You know, you got the flashbacks of Naruto wanting to defeat Sasuke, and now he's saying he's not Sasuke. That was incredible. And then you got the double Rasen Shurikens going at him. You got the the Ashura like figure that we see also. So that was really awesome. So yeah, just an incredible chapter, guys. I really enjoyed. Yeah, so I have a quote to share with you from this week, and this week comes from Naruto. The quote comes from Naruto. This is from Kizuna, by the way. I'm going to re-upload my video on Kizuna. This is from chapter 495, where Naruto fights Naruto. Dark Naruto versus Naruto. Now, why do I bring this one up? It's because Naruto is fighting himself, okay? And what does he say? He says, "You need to be me, because you are me." Okay? Now, when he says this, he is fighting himself, right? You need to be me. You need to remember who you are, because you are me. Okay? There's no reason for you to have darkness, because I was saved. Okay? I was saved by my friends. My friends have taken this darkness in my heart away. So he says, you need to be me, since you are me. And here's the darkness, the Dark Naruto, and this is when he fights Dark Naruto in the waterfall, you know, and then, you know, the Kurama as well. So that kind of connects with this chapter as well. The last thing I'm going to leave with you is a couple of funny moments from Naruto, as, you know, it's wrapping up here pretty soon. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and as always, have an awesome day. This story is so funny. We have a couple of parts with Rock Lee and Sakura. There's this one part where Sakura is here, and you know, Lee is fighting for Sakura, and you know, he shows his thumbs up, and then all of a sudden, he just cops a feel on Sakura, and something happens where, like, I think she punches him in the face or something. But yeah, that's a really funny one.